We are going to start on our backs down on the ground in a starfish position. So come down onto your mat and then your feet are going to be nice and wide to the outer corners of your mat. Arms are going to be nice and wide up and overhead. So for some of us, that might take a second. So if your back is feeling a little bit cranky this morning, or if your shoulders are feeling a little cranky this morning, take your time as you come down. No need to rush. I sometimes go to a next place fast just so that I'm like a page ahead of you in this school teacher talk, right? So I just always want to be a little bit of a page ahead, but take your time as you come into this position. Arms reach up and overhead, and then just for a second, take it into a nice big good morning stretch. Reach through your heels, reach through your fingers, take a nice big breath. Notice how your body feels. And now we're going to keep a slightly wide position, but we're going to pull knees to shoulders. So you're going to pull your knees up towards your shoulders, grab your shins or your knees, give a light little squeeze, and then release. Legs are going to go long, arms are going to stretch up and overhead, and then take it into that big good morning stretch, and then pull it in. Pull the knees up towards the shoulders, grab and squeeze, and then extend the legs nice and long and take it into a big good morning stretch. Reach through your fingers and reach through your feet. Pull it in, give a light little squeeze, stretch it out, get that big good morning stretch, and kind of tune in and notice here, how's your energy level? How is your body feeling? How's your back feeling? And if you're already here and your back is like, hey, slow down, maybe you just take the time to slow your whole entire exercises down this morning so that your back feels happy. 7 seconds left here. And time. Nice. Okay, now we're going to take it into starfish crunches. So opposite hand, opposite foot are going to reach up and touch, lower with control, switch over to the other side. This is still a warm-up minute, so just make sure that you keep it as light and slow as feels appropriate to your body. Come back to that starfish shape in the middle, reach opposite hand, opposite foot. If you can't touch your foot, don't worry about that. You can touch the knee, you can touch the shin, any little bit of reach that feels good to you. But if you can find just a tiny bit of engagement in those abdominal muscles, contract the abdominal muscles, reach up towards the foot, lower with control. And then if you like working with the breath, it's an exhale as you do that up and reach, or exhale on your effort. "15 seconds left. And time. Nicely done. Okay, walk your feet in. So we're in that bent knee position. Now we're going to take it into a little mini crunch and then a little half or reverse crunch. So you're just going to crunch up just enough so that you can look like you're looking toward your knees, lower down, and then pick your knees up, pick up your tailbone, lower it with control. This is still a warm-up minute, so just take it nice and slow, a nice even pace. Crunch up just a little bit till you feel the abdominal muscles contract, release back down, and then pick up your butt just a little bit. You take this at your pace. If you're feeling revved up and like ready to go, you can go as fast as you like. But if it feels good to just do that little bit of tune in, get those core muscles to kick on. Same thing here if you're working with the breath. You'll exhale as you do that little crunch up, and then you'll exhale as you pick the tailbone up. Nicely done. You got 23 seconds left. And time. Beautiful. Okay, now checking in, noticing how your back feels. You're either going to take a straight leg corkscrew or you're going to bend your knees. You're just going to find the level of work that feels good to you. Legs straight or bent, same basic principles apply. We take the legs over to one side, scoop down just a little bit, over to the other side, pull it back to the middle, over to the other side, scoop down. So like you're making the half of a circle, you're just staying at that bottom half of the circle. Legs can be straight, but if leg straight doesn't feel good, you're going to bend your knees, but then the same thing applies. Knees go over to the right, circle down and around, bring it back to center, and then reverse, take it over to the other side. You're taking this at your pace. You're going as fast or as slow as feels good. And then focus on that low back area or that connection of your center. For some of us, it's going to feel better to have your low back pressing into the ground. For some of us, it's going to feel a little bit better to have just that slightly natural curve of your back. So if you get in these positions and your back is kind of screaming at you, adjust the tilt of your pelvis so that your back feels really good and strong. "12 seconds left." And time. Nicely done. Okay, now we're going to take our legs and bend them into that nice dead bug or tabletop position. Grab your hand weights. We're going to load up. Start with bent knee position, and then we're going to go to straight leg position. So we're going to take it into this dead bug position. We're going to stay loaded at the shoulders, and now we're going to take the knees out and away from each other, bring them back in with control, but keep that 90-degree bend. We're starting with the bent knee position. That's 30 seconds on the clock, holding those weights just straight up from your chest. Same thing here with your back. So if you feel like pressing your low back down into the ground makes you feel more stable and stronger, that's the way you're going to go. But if it feels better to have the natural curve of your back, you're going to have the natural curve of your back. You want to make sure that you can maintain this position and your back feels strong. 5 more seconds with the bent knee position. All right, now the next time your legs come into that center, raise your legs up, straighten your legs just as much as feels good, and then take it back out. Nice wide position, but the arms are holding that load the whole entire time. And then your back is just wherever feels the strongest, low back pressing down or the natural curve of your back. And time. Beautiful job. Okay, now set your feet down. In that bent knee position, just place your weights off to the side, and it's going to be a single leg hip bridge. So hands are going to come alongside the hips. We're going 30 seconds one side, 30 seconds on the other. You're going to keep one leg lifted, lift your hips up just as high as feels good, and then lower with control. Focus on the control here. This is not one of our speed rounds, but we are working on building a little bit of heat in the legs. So single leg work, you're feeling it in your quadricep muscles perhaps. Hamstring muscles and glute muscles more specifically are probably doing a lot of the heavy lifting here. 5 seconds left on this leg. All right, when you're ready, switch, set that foot down, pick the other leg up, single leg hip bridge, lifting up on the other side, just keeping that leg lifted. Nice work. You got 10 seconds left. You got this. Yes, you guys look awesome. Beautiful. 5 seconds left. And time. Nicely done. Okay, we're going to roll over onto one side. It's going to be we're doing a little build a clam. So we're going to use our brain a little bit. I'm going to walk you through the pattern one time, and then the rest of the time you're going to try to remember the pattern in your head. So find your side lying position, nice uplifted side body, brace your shoulders so that we're not slouching in the upper body, right? So this is all pulled up nice and firm. Here's the pattern. It's going to be a clam lift, a clam lift and push, a reverse clam, and then a whole clam side body lift, and you lift the top arm as well, lower it back down with control. But now you're going to build your clam. So the pattern goes through. We go clam, then restart. Clam, clam lift, restart. Clam, clam lift and push, restart. Clam, clam lift and push, reverse clam. Now we restart. Clam, clam lift and push, reverse clam, and then take the whole side lift, lower it down. And now you got to do the rest, working through that pattern at your own pace. We got 1 minute on the clock. You're going to try to remember everything that we just did, but rebuild. So it's, you start with 1, add the 2, add the 3. You got it. Ten seconds left. And time. Nicely done. Okay, we're flipping over to the other side. So spin yourself around or flip yourself over in a way that works good for you. We're going to work through this side and then you're going to take it at your own pace. So back to finding that pattern first. So it's going to be a clam lift, a clam lift and push, a reverse clam so the knees stay together and the heel lifts, and then the whole side body lifts and you lift that top leg and the top arm, lower it back down with control. But now you take it one at a time and you build on. So it's a clam, then you restart. Clam, clam lift, clam, clam lift and push, clam, clam, clam lift and push, reverse clam, knees stay together, heel lifts, clam, clam lift and push, reverse clam, and then the whole side body lifts. Now we got 1 minute on the clock. You're going at your pace, finding that restart each time. Making our brains work this morning. You got 10 seconds left. You got this. And time. Nicely done. All right, we're flipping back over onto our back, but now we're going to prop ourselves up with our elbows. So come into that little bit of a elbow and forearm position. Right leg is going to go first. First 30 seconds are going to be slow motion. Second 30 seconds, we're going for speed. So find that nice controlled position. Extend your right leg long. We're going to keep a little bit of a flex in the foot. We're lifting up to knee height, lowering with control. But the first 30 seconds, go slow motion, as slow as you can stand, keeping the upper body nice and stable. Focusing a little bit of energy down to the foot and the heel so we keep the leg engaged the whole entire time. All right, and then when you're ready, pick up the pace, go as fast as you can. Knee comes up to knee height. We keep the foot slightly flexed and the upper body stays as stable as it can. Nice job, 10 seconds left. Can you go just a little faster? And time, beautiful. Bend that knee, step it in, switch over to the other side. Left leg goes long, a little flex in the foot. Slow motion for the first 30 seconds, raising it up to knee height, lowering it with control. The heel hovers. We're not trying to touch that heel down to the ground. And we're going as slow motion as you can stand, keeping the upper body as stable as you can. All right, when you're ready, pick up the pace, go as fast as you can without losing that upper body strength. Nice work, 10 seconds left. How fast can you go? And time, beautiful job. Okay, spin it around. We're gonna come into a high kneel position. You're gonna grab your theraband. To start, we're gonna take a little bit of a grip on the theraband. So walk your hands nice and close. We're gonna keep the elbows hugged in at the side body, and it's gonna be our shoulder rotations, but the first 30 seconds are gonna be slow motion. So get a good grip, rotate out, rotate in, but slow as you can as you keep your elbows hugged into your side body. So keep that nice tight position. Just pull out as much as your shoulders go. Don't worry about making it look like anything in particular, but just finding that good rotation as you keep the elbows hugged in. Nice and slow motion. So the theraband creates tension as you pull out, but resist that tension as you come back in. Two more seconds, and then we're going to switch to our hand weights. All right, now release your theraband, grab your hand weights. We're going to switch to our hand weights, and now we're going to go for speed. So the same basic principle, elbows are hugged in at the side body, but now you might go palms facing in towards each other, and we're going to rotate with a little bit of speed. But don't let your ribs puff up. So as we find that speed, keep everything as stable as it can. Even if that means it shortens your rotation, keep your belly firm so we're not puffing the chest and doing all that kind of stuff. We're going to keep it nice and stable. Elbows are still hugged in. You're going as fast as you can without losing that structure in your center. Nice work. Now, in this high kneeling position, it does create that little instability. So that means we have to keep our abdominal muscles slightly engaged. You might be squeezing your butts just a little bit so your glutes stay engaged. Nice work. 3 seconds left. And time. Beautiful job. Okay, set your weights down. Grab your theraband again, and now we're going to create that grip again, palm facing up, tight grip, elbows in at the side body, and now we're going to present the plate. So we're going to push forward, scrape your elbows against your ribs as you come back. First 30 seconds, slow motion, and both arms are working together. So get that good grip, hold and maintain that distance, bring it forward, scrape the elbows back. Nice. Keep your belly firm, keep your butt cheeks squeezed just a little bit so your butt stays nice and tight. Beautiful. 5 more seconds left in this slow motion work. All right, when you're ready, set your theraband down. Now we're going to go empty hand for these last 30 seconds. It's going to be for speed, and we're jogging our arms, but we're going to keep our belly firm, keep your butt squeezed, and just jog your arms. So in this kneeling position, it's going to challenge your sense of balance. Your knees are going to wobble a little underneath you. Get those arms pumping as fast as you can, but keep the bottom half of your body as stable as you can. Nice, you guys look so fast. That's amazing. Awesome job. 3 seconds left. You got this. And time. Beautiful. Okay, clear your space just a little bit. We're coming into a tabletop position. We're going to hover our tabletop, and we're going to do some knee taps. So find your tabletop first, curl your toes under, lift your knees, and hold that position. And now we're going to alternate. Tap one knee and then the other. So we're going across the midline of the body, touching your opposite knee. You got it. Nice and steady, and keep the knees lifted the whole time if you can. If you need to reset your knees or keep them down, but keep your abdominal muscles pulled up, you can also find good work here. It just will work a little bit more in the shoulders, less in the abdominal muscles if you keep the knees down. Beautiful. Now, if you've got really great stable position and you're feeling good about it, now you can pick up the pace for the last 30 seconds. You can go a little bit faster. But if it was already feeling like a good enough challenge, keep the pace that you were working on. Five seconds left. Now we're not going to put our knees down. We're going to pick our knees up even higher. And now we're going to take it into a bear crawl or a lumbering elephant. So whichever you like to call it, we're going to keep the butt slightly up in the air. And then a nice slow crawl. We're crawling ourselves forward and back, just working through the feet, working through the hands, putting a little weight in the shoulders, putting a little weight in the hips, moving yourself forward and back, but take it slow. Think away that bears move a little bit slow with that nice big lumbering movement. Crawl yourself forward and back, or any other pattern. You can go sideways. You can turn yourself around, anything that feels good. We got 30 seconds left. Ten seconds left. Now, crawling is really great for the back. So if you have a sore back, sometimes even just knees down crawling can be a really great way to just sort of reset the back. All right, when you're ready, come all the way up to a standing position. We're going to grab our theraband and we're going to place it underneath our feet. And now we're going to work our bicep curls with our theraband for the first go round. So step onto your theraband, get a good bit of tension, grab on nice and tight, and we're just curling up, lowering it with control. Keep your elbows slightly hugged into the side of the body. This does work the grip a bit. So make sure you have a good grip. If your hands are a little sweaty, you might choose to double wrap your theraband just so you don't snap and slip it out of your hands. Nice slow motion, so resist coming up and resist going down. Nice form. Everyone looks amazing. Beautiful job. Seven seconds left. And time. Beautiful work. Okay, step out of your TheraBand, set that off to the side, grab your hand weights, heaviest hand weights you've got. If you're switching around, this is going to come back to those bicep curls. So we're going to work with a little bit of speed, but if you've got heavy weights, you'll just be mindful. So if you're going past an 8-pounder, you want to make sure that you're just paying attention and making sure you're working at a pace that feels appropriate to your muscles. But now we're going to pick up the pace just a little bit. So we're bicep curling, but we're going with a little bit of speed. And while we're talking about heavy weights here, when you see me do this work here, I'm usually working, these are my light little 3-pounders. But when I'm doing my personal exercise work, the stuff I don't have to talk to people through, I'm going with 8-pounders, 5-pounders. I've got 10s, 15s, and I even have a 30-pound kettlebell. So just know you can go with a lot heavier weights than a 2-pounder or 3-pounder. So if you're like, I'm not seeing good results anymore with my weight training, maybe start to pick up slightly heavier weights. And if you're like, I don't know about making that investment, grab 2-gallon jugs. A full gallon jug filled with water is 8 pounds. So you can start leveling up without spending any money. And that's time. Okay, set your weights down. Or I should say, set one weight down. We're going to go one single hand weight. We're going to step back into a lunge. It's going to be 30 seconds lunging on one side, 30 seconds on the other side, and then that'll be it for the minute. Okay, so step 1 foot back. The leg that's in front, that's where we're going to rotate towards. So you're going to hold your weight sideways, up and overhead, hold and maintain that nice strong lunging position. and we're just drawing circles on the ceiling with our weight above the head. We got 30 seconds. We're going to stick with that rotation, rotating towards that front knee, so that when we switch our legs, we'll just switch our rotation as well. Try to keep your belly slightly firm, so your bottom half of the body is going to stay as stable as it can, and we're just moving out of the shoulders. Wow, you guys look so stable. Amazing. 7 seconds left going in this direction. All right, when you're ready, switch your feet, get yourself set up, and now we're going to rotate towards that front leg. So find your lunge, arms up and overhead. We're rotating out of the shoulder. 30 seconds. Keep that bottom half of the body as stable as you can. And time. Nicely done. Okay, lower your arms, step out of that lunge, grab your second weight. Now we're going to take it into a nice wide squat, touch the ground, and then take it up to the chin. So hold on to your weights, take your legs as wide as you like, bend down, touch the ground, pull it up to the chin. Bend down, touch the ground, pull it up to the chin. What variation of a squat you choose, where do you feel the strongest? How do your legs feel when you bend down and touch the ground? And that'll just make you decide where you place your legs, and then nice and strong, just pull it right up to your chin. Five seconds left. And time. Beautiful. Okay, our last minute of work, we're going to take it into, no, save the last, we have 2 minutes left. Okay, bend over. We're going to take it into 30 seconds of a wide row. So get that little hip hinge, arms hang out in front of you, pull the elbows wide, lower them back with control. We got 30 seconds with that wide row, and then we'll switch to a narrow grip row. Pull the elbows wide, let them lower with control. Keep a slight firmness in your belly. Gaze is down at the floor. So if you're looking forward or turning your head to look at the screen, now you know what you're doing. Gaze down at the floor. Yes, nice work. Okay, when you're ready, we're switching to that narrow grip. So now palms are going to face in towards each other. Scrape the ribs, lower with control. Beautiful form. Man, you guys look amazing. Nice work. And time. Nice. Rise up, hang on to your weights. Now this is our last minute of work. It's going to be an intentional backwards walking with a farmer's carry. So you're going to hold those weights off to your side, and you're going to start to walk backwards, but with a bit of intention at the bottom of the feet. So you're going to walk yourself around, walking backwards the whole time. Any random pattern we'll do, but if you're like, I just don't know what pattern to walk, just walk in a figure 8 or walk in a little square, it doesn't matter. But we just want to walk through the bottom of our feet. So think toe ball heel, really focus on that little bit of intention at your feet. Keep your arms held away from the side of the body so your core stays locked in nice and firm. This is not the natural way we would walk. When we walk naturally, we'd walk toe ball heel, but our ribs would rotate with us and everything. So we're going to keep that nice solid form and just walk through the bottom of the feet. Nice work. and time. Beautiful. Okay, if you want just a little roll down with a little bit of accented weight, hang on to your weights, bend your knees a little bit, tuck your chin down. We're going to peel our back away from that imaginary wall, roll down nice and slow and controlled. Keep that generous bend in your knees. Let your torso hang a little bit. Let that little bit of weight in your arms kind of help you dangle a little bit. Take a nice big breath in. Slow breath out. If you can lift up and let your hands slightly hover away from the ground, using those hand weights, you're just going to let your arms dangle, draw small little circles, circle in one direction. Draw small circles, go the other way. Beautiful. And then leave your hand weights on the ground, bend your knees a lot, pull your abdominal muscles in, roll up to a standing position. Take your time as you come up. One hand's going to touch down to the thigh, other hand's going to reach up, get a nice big side bend. Lift up with control, take it over to the other side. Beautiful. Lift up with control. We're going to take a light little twist. You're just going to rotate to one side. Bring your hands to your hips or to your side body, but think about pushing your front pocket forward as you rotate and look over your back shoulder. Beautiful. And then release and take that over to the other side. Nice. And then when you're ready, release. Now we're going to peel back down that imaginary wall. So bend your knees, tuck your chin into your chest, roll your way down nice and slow and controlled. And then this time, as you come down to the ground, super generous bend in the knees, hands are going to touch the ground, and we're going to think about where our butt bones, our sitting bones are. So not the tailbone, but the sitting bones. And then think about reaching and lifting your sitting bones up towards the ceiling. We're not trying to straighten the legs. We're trying to lift our sits bones upward. Take one more breath. All right, bend your knees a lot, pull your abdominal muscles in, roll your way on up, take a couple of good shrugs of your shoulders. You guys are amazing. Grab your foam roller if you're sticking around.